Oh, you're speaking to the bill, Ms Lauder. Sorry, I missed you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thought I'd take the opportunity to speak briefly on the amendments proposed for the Retirement Village Act 2012. And during these difficult and unprecedented times, it's more important than ever to ensure that our older Canberrans, our senior Canberrans, are protected and assisted as much as possible. Seniors in our Canberra community are resilient and they've faced tough circumstances many times in the past. But it is important from the Territory Government perspective that everything is being done to keep seniors healthy, in good spirits, and to keep their living arrangements, including their relationship with their retirement villages, in good order. So the COVID-19 pandemic has put significant pressure on retirement villages and their continued efforts to keep their residents safe. And I'd like to thank all the retirement and aged care village personnel in Canberra that are working during this pandemic to assist their residents. Although these amendments may be only temporary in nature, it's important that, as with all legislation that comes to this place, we scrutinise them carefully. It is vital that social distancing restrictions are enforced, and these amendments assist in removing some of the obstacles in the way of social distancing at retirement villages. We've all seen the importance of enforcing restrictions during this pandemic, but it may be interesting to see how this is going to work in practice. If a residents' committee choose to authorise a meeting of residents, they must be held using forms of communication other than in person, and it's the responsibility of the operator of the village to ensure that residents have access to the necessary facilities in order for them to participate. This may mean a laptop, it may mean Wi-Fi, a smartphone, any range of ways to ensure that residents can participate in a virtual or remote meeting. This is something that many of us here in this place take for granted every day. However, we still face technical issues as well. And older people often express to us their concerns about accessing technology, especially new technology. You know, we've all had to learn how to use video conferencing equipment in this place, and sometimes that's easier than other times. So whilst there are helpful resources available to seniors and training and support, I hope that all operators will be very conscientious about providing residents with technology support and advice. And of course, while there's social distancing, that is also another added challenge to that. When considering these amendments, I did speak with a number of stakeholders in the area, including the Retirement Village Residents Association, members of some resident committees and some in the industry. While the general consensus was that the amendments are fair and appropriate, one point that was a matter of some discussion was the number of proxy votes that a person will be able to hold on behalf of a resident. The change is a necessary but temporary measure, I agree, but I am concerned how this may be used. It's important that many residents' voices are heard in meetings as possible, especially if they're unable to attend a meeting in person. But residents are already concerned about the recent change in a previous change to the legislation to the number of proxies per participant. Many of us have loved ones in retirement villages and aged care facilities, Madam Speaker, because of course some retirement villages are co-located with aged care facilities. So whilst in Canberra we've worked hard and well to stop the spread and flatten the curve, we acknowledge that there's a serious risk to older people in our community. And something that the retirement village industry has raised with me is their interest to understand more about the process, the implementation of relaxing of social distancing measures, because their population is, of course, generally at high risk, if not only from age, but by other comorbidities or existing health conditions. So, Madam Speaker, we all must, as we've already spoken about in this place, take responsibility ourselves in respect to retirement villages. We must not go and visit our loved ones if we are not well ourselves. We must get our flu shot if we haven't already, and I hope everyone has. And we must continue to do what we can to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus. So we'll be supporting the amendments today, and I thank Mr Rattenbury for bringing these amendments forward.
Further question